What's up, everybody? Welcome to JGBB Cards here on YouTube. Want to welcome you to the first video where I'll actually be on camera. For today's topic, I thought I'd talk to you guys about what to do and what not to do. So the do's and don'ts of coming back into the hobby and investing in the hobby. We're going to do 5 topics for each. So 5 do's, 5 don'ts. Let's get it going. So the first do for coming back into the hobby is you have to research products. There's a myriad of products out there for baseball, for basketball, football, soccer even. So really research. There's a lot of good resources out there. There's a lot of blogs. Blowout Forums is a good one. Really do your research. There's a myriad of different products. So really do your research and try and figure out what products you want to collect, what looks cool to you, and start there. The number 2 do for coming back into the hobby is buy singles. So when I say buy singles, if there's a card or a certain player that you want to collect, typically it is cheaper to buy singles of that player than going out and trying to rip it from wax and striking out a bunch of times. You can spend a crap ton of money on wax out there at stores and retail or at your hobby shop, your local card store, and you could really just go mad trying to find this one player. For me, that was Ronald Acuna Jr. I spent a ton of money trying to pull his bat down card, trying to pull his Topps update card. When I first got back in the hobby, I love Acuna. Was trying to get some of his cards. I just couldn't pull one naturally. I said, screw it. I'm going on eBay, and I just picked up a bunch. Honestly, I've had some good success. If you saw my last videos, you can see I have a bat down PSA 10, and I have a couple of other Acunas at PSA now. But my second do is buy singles. Number 3 kind of piggybacks off number 2. I recommend, and this could be a little controversial for some other people in the hobby, but I personally recommend grading your cards. Where I have seen the most appreciation in value for cards since coming into the hobby is buying raw singles, getting them graded, and they grade either a 9 or a 10, and then selling them afterwards. If you have duplicates. Obviously, if there's a person that you personally want to collect and you get a high grade, you can keep that. That's your prerogative. That's up to you. That's how you want to collect. For me, and an investing strategy, buying singles and then grading them is probably the best idea in terms of making money.
Moolah, Benji's, Franklin's.
Now, who you grade with is totally up to you as well. There's 3, I would say, main grading companies. 2 are predominant. 1, PSA. I would say that they're the best in the industry. They're the industry standard, widely respected and known that they are the hardest graders. Number 2 would be BGS. What I really like about BGS is the slabs are awesome. They look great. The cards look amazing in the slabs. They're a little bit cheaper than PSA. That's on individual cards. It depends on if you do a bulk submission or if you do individual card submission on your own. And they also have a subgrade, so it tells you what the corners, edges, surface, and so forth grade at. So that's really important and really nice to see. Third would be SGC. I personally have never used SGC, but I've heard good and bad things about SGC. Some good things is they're probably the cheapest on the market in terms of cost to get cards graded. 2, their slabs look pretty decent. Not really a fan of their label. And some of the other reviews are saying it kind of looks cheap. So bad reviews are that it's not really holds up in terms of investment value. So those are the things, but that's number 3. Get graded cards or gets cards graded. Number 4, be aware of trends. Now, I have a finance background. I've been investing in the stock market for a long time, as long as I could be. I'm only 27, but you have to be aware of certain trends, just like the stock market, and that goes for the card market as well. If a card gets hot, if a player gets hot, don't fight it. If you have a certain card and you've been holding on to it and you thought, oh, this guy's never become anything, and he all of a sudden has a breakout game in whatever sport it could be. You saw that with Aquino. Some of his Bowman Chrome people probably never thought he would amount to anything, and he went off in the second half of last year, and we can sell him for over $100. It could be soccer, where a guy gets transferred to a bigger club and he breaks out. It could be football, like Lamar Jackson. He was drafted at the end of the first round and he breaks out. Just be aware of trends And what I found is don't fight trends. And that's a struggle for me. Lamar Jackson was hot at the beginning of last year, but I was like, nah, he'll cool down. Turns out he won MVP and led his team to the playoffs.
Big trust. Woo woo.
Now, if I had bought in week 1 or at the beginning of the season, I could have made a lot of money, but hey, that's how it works sometimes. So that's number 4, be aware of trends. Number 5, and I'm trying to speed this up for you guys, collect what you love. That's a do. That's a must. If you like baseball, collect baseball. Who cares? And maybe dabble in some other sports if you get comfortable later on. But you know what? Do what you love. And that's what I found that I do is I'm a baseball guy first. That's not the most popular sport right now. Let's be honest.
Then you gotta chill.
But that's what I like to do. So I collect a lot of baseball players. That's just what I played when I was younger, and that's what I'm comfortable doing. But, I also dabble in some basketball, and I also dabble in some football. Very small. So collect what you love. All right, so now that's the do's. For the don'ts, and these come from personal experience, and I hope these help. Number 1, do not buy too much wax. That is the first biggest mistake that I see a lot of new people coming into the hobby do. They get super excited. They love opening packs. Who doesn't? I love it still. But in terms of investing and making the right purchases, you're not going to make the most money doing that. So what they do is they buy overpriced boxes of wax. They break open the wax and, they're expecting this huge auto of Pat Mahomes or huge auto of LeBron or huge auto of Luka, Zion, whomever, Acuna, Soto. The odds are not in your favor. Let's just say it like that. The odds are stacked against you. So if you see an auto go out there on eBay and you see it's at a reasonable price, scoop it up. That's so much easier than buying a 100, 200, 300, 400. These boxes are getting crazy now. Over $1,000 box of wax and just being so disappointed. It's happened to me. It's happened to a lot of people I've seen in the hobby. So I would say don't buy too much wax. So number 2, don't collect and buy a sport you don't know. I'm a big baseball guy. I like basketball as well. Those are my 2 main sports that I collect. I don't see a lot of investment potential in football, so I don't buy football. Now I know football. I know it well, but I don't buy football. So say you're, over in Europe or you're somewhere where, soccer's prevalent. Buy soccer. If you don't know anything about American baseball or American football, why would you invest in those cards at first when you're back in the hobby? Maybe later on down the line, you could definitely get into it as you learn more, but collect what you know initially. Number 3, and this is also a big thing, it ties back to number 1, is spending out of your budget. Happened to me. Initially, you get into the hobby, you get excited, you see all the money that you have, and you're like, all right, I'm going to go after this player, and I want X amount of cards of him. I want his auto, I want his rookie, I want his chrome, I want his this, I want his that. And you end up ballooning your price, and you're like, where's all my money?
I am never going to financially recover from this.
You have to have a budget. It's got to be your discretionary income that you're putting into these things. It's cards. It's a hobby. It's not going to be your livelihood. You still have to have a job. So that's my 3rd don't is spend out of your budget. Number 4, and this is a big problem in the hobby. Recently, with a lot of people coming back in, and I think it's the scummiest thing in the world, is going to a retail store such as a Target or a Walmart, going in and searching the card packs prior to buying. So that means unwrapping them, going through, weighing the packs, seeing which packs have the hits in them, the autos, the refractors, the numbered cards, because most of the times the packs that have those in them weigh a little bit more than the normal packs. That's just straight up scummy. This is a hobby. This is for fun. Obviously, there's a lot of money that is being pumped into the hobby now with people coming back in. But at the same time, that's just cheating. You're cheating yourself. You're cheating at people out of a great experience. Now, if you want to go to a store and buy up everything that is there, I have done that personally. I know a lot of people are against that as well. That's fine. You can buy everything that's there. If you have all the money in the world, you can definitely do that. But you should not go through each little pack and search for the cards that you want. Last but not least, the last don't, number 5, is rip or scam people in terms of prices. So ripping people off, scamming people on Instagram, Twitter, eBay, canceling bids or not sending cards or having people send you money and then not sending cards, to believe it or not, is a big problem in the hobby. It happens. There's some scummy people. It happens for different reasons. People can get a little overexcited and not realize what they're doing. There's a lot of different cases out there. I would just say this hobby, from what I've learned since coming back in, is it's about relationships. Everybody's here to have fun. Everybody's here because of nostalgia, and they really love the sports that they're collecting. They love the players that they're collecting and the teams. And I've made a lot of good friends in the hobby, and I want to continue that. So if you want to be a scummy person and rip people off based on prices, or not send them the cards that they want, or send them damaged cards, that's just not the way that it's going to work well for you coming into the industry. And it's just not a good way or practice to live your life, in my opinion. So there it is. Those are 5 do's, 5 don'ts. I'll list them off for you. 1 through 5, the do's. Research your products. Buy singles. Grade cards. Be aware of trends. And number 5, collect what you love. Don'ts. Don't buy too much wax. Don't collect a sport that you don't follow. 3, spend out of your budget. Don't do that. Number 4, pack search. When you're going to retail stores, do not pack search. That is the worst. Number 5, rip scam people when you're doing deals online. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching my video. I appreciate you seeing me on camera. We'll talk to you next time.